Hello, welcome to my second video on wind load determination. Um, I've done a previous video on chapter 27 using ASCE 716, but this time I'm using chapter 28 for the envelope procedure. The previous one was a directional procedure, and it's pretty similar until like step 6 that changes a little, but everything else from step 1 to step 5 I've already done that. So if you want to see how I got all the numbers from step 1 to step 5, go back and watch my previous video, which is wind load determination on directional, using the directional procedure approach, and you can see how I got those numbers. But with that said, let's go ahead and start. As you can see, I've already had all these values here, and in this one we won't have the gust effect factor, which I've already blackened out here. So and in chapter 28, the only thing that changes is the velocity pressure exposure coefficient, which is 0.7, and that's if you look at the footnotes of table 26.10-1, let's look at that. I think it's on page 273, if I'm not 26. Oh well, before that, so 26.10-1. Yeah, 26.10-1. All right, here. Okay, it says use 0.7 in chapter 28 exposure B when Z is less than 30 feet. So so that's where I got that value from. And here you guys can see how Z is that, and again mean roof height is also 27. So everything is less than 20 feet here. It's a two-story. All that I've already explained all that in the previous video. So with that said, let's go ahead and do start with the external pressure coefficient determination, and that would be, say, it was on page 331 here. So they really give you all the steps. So right here, so right now I'm on step 6. Determine external pressure coefficient, GCP, using figure 28.3 -1 for flat and gable roofs. So let's go to figure 28 right here. All right, so right here we have all these figures here, and one important thing I forgot to point out is always, please, as I mentioned on the previous one, read these the scope, conditions, limitations, and all that. This has two parts as well. I'm using part 1 right now, and read those to make sure your design complies with these before you copy and paste or mimic this procedure I'm using here. So make sure that also falls in your design procedures. All right, with that said, let's go back to the picture here. The figure. So here we have two load cases. Load case 1, which here they're loading the wind on the corner, the windward corner here, and wind direction. And case A will be using this longer side of the building, and then load case B will be using the shorter side of the building. And you might end up with a building that has kind of irregularities. By that I mean like it won't be just a flat, side. Um, and with that, just make sure this notation here, say A is 10% of least horizontal dimension or dimension, or 0.4 h, whichever is smaller, but not less than either 4% of least horizontal dimension or 3 feet, right? So just make sure whatever value you get does not go below these thresholds. Um, and also, make sure you read all these exceptions as well, all that. So in my case, my building is pretty, kind of sides are kind of flat, all that. So, uh, I don't really have any restrictions right here, right now. But so let's go ahead and determine the external pressure coefficients. Um, right here, I have all these loads, load case 1, case A and case B, and with load case A, you have all these different surfaces, all that. So when you get the values of these, then you calculate the pressure on each face of these, numbered faces here. And then when you also make sure you calculate A, so you can multiply by 2 in load case A and load case also B, and then whatever value you get in this dashed or hatched surfaces here, you have to apply that value over this amount of distance of surface, and then this number 1 is the rest of it. It's pretty self-explanatory. So let's go ahead and do that. So figure 28.3-1. It's also continued down here. So here we have the roof angles, and building surfaces. As for load case A and load case B. Load case B is pretty simple. It's all angle from 0 to 90. So just, the values are the same for everything. But for load case A, values are different. So you might need to interpolate depending on your roof angle. My roof angle is 15. So I have to interpolate. So I've already created a little, kind of equation, or whatever, equation of a line. You have to, if you remember your math class in college, probably maybe algebra 1 or 2, I can't remember, but anyways, just create that interpolation, however you can do it to find the corresponding value, just do it. But I already have created the algorithm here. So right now all I have to do is plug in the numbers, and it will give me the y value. So and I've also calculated A for load case A and also A for load case B. So once I finish getting the external pressure coefficients values and calculate the wind pressure on the faces of the building, I can now use those, the one that in 1E, 2E, all these, the hatched ones. They are the hatched ones, as you can see here, and I can use that to kind of depending on if it's 2A or 1A, apply that over that surface. But here, let's go ahead and calculate, these values. So wait, I think I have for load case B. I have more than 4, so it will be 5, 6, and also 5, 6 here. So I'm gonna go ahead and correct that really quick. 5 here and 6, and also 5 E and 6E. Wait, sorry, this should be on lowercase b, I believe. Yeah, lowercase b, so 5. Copy and paste. Alright, so yeah, we have that. So this, great. Alright, so let's go ahead and start calculating, interpolating. Well, for 2, my angle is 15, so it's between these, and for number 2, it's all the same, negative 0.69. So, and also this one is the same, negative 1.47. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in there. For load case A, yeah, 2, negative 0.69, and then here 1.07. All right, so I got that. For 1, we get what? For 1, we have between 0.4 and 0.53. So I'm gonna use these values and plug it into my Excel little calculator. 5 and 20, right? It's between 5 and 20. The X and the Y, 0.4 and 0.53. 0.4 and 0.53. So with that, then that means my 15, roof angle is 15. So my 15 Y value 0.49. So for 1, I got 0.49. And how about 3? For 3, I get negative 0.37 and negative 0.48. So let's go ahead and do that. Negative 0.37 and negative 0.48. So I get negative 0.44. And for 4, what do I get? Negative 0.29, negative 0.43. So negative 0.29 and negative 1. Negative 0.43, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, 29, yeah, 43. So I get negative 0.38. So for negative 0.38. All right, now for 1E, what do I get? 1E, negative 0.61, negative 0.80. I mean 0.61, 0.80. 1 and 0.80, I'm going 0.74, and 3E, I get I have negative 0.53 and negative 0.69. If I'm not mistaken, 53, 69, yeah. So I got negative 0.64. And then and for 4E 0.43.64. Yeah, 0.57. 0.57. So I get that. Now load case B, as I said, it's basically all the same around. So it's just copy and paste. 0.45, 0.69. I think it's negative 0.45, negative 0.69, and negative 37, negative 45. And negative, 0.40, negative 29. And then 1E, 0.48, 0.107. E, 0.53, 0.48, 61, 0.43. All right, so I'm done with everything, filling in all these. So now all I have to do is go ahead and calculate the wind pressure, basically. So all these values here, let's highlight them. Highlight these. You have to fill in these. All right, and now we can go ahead and let's see what our next step is. Next step on the thing is calculate wind pressure. Wind pressure P from equation 28.3-1. Equation 28.3-1 is this. So we'll use this to calculate the wind pressure on every single surface that is here. Load case A and load case B as well. So let's go ahead and get those. So load case A. So the equation, I'm gonna cut that that formula. So we can put it in our copy and paste. So I'll put that here, right there. So we have it right away. All right. So for one, it says P is QH, or whatever QZ, or that QH time GCPF, which we've got here, minus GCPI, which we already got on this right here. Yeah, so that QH time, all that. So and we already have QH here. QH is this. Yeah, so QH as QZ, it's basically the same when we calculate it. Yeah, so because here we don't have a KZ or KZ, okay, it's all the same, so the value will of course be the same. So let's go ahead and calculate that. So for one, we'll do equal to Q. I like Excel because you can come back and change things and everything. Calculates it itself really fast, so it's pretty good software to use in this kind of calculations. All right, so QH, pressure one is QH, which is this, times GCPF. The GCPF for one is this, and minus GCPI, which is right here, and our one is not negative, so the pressure is basically kind of the wind is not going away. When you have that, the pressure is not going away, so we use the positive one to do it. So everything where you have the positives, positive signs, use the positive. If you have the negative sign, use the negative, GCPI. So minus this, basically GCPI, and that, and there is your result. So now you do the same for everything else. So I'm just gonna copy and paste and this, and here we'll use the negative one, so it would be J. Yeah, right there. And GCPI I14, I guess. Yeah, so this doesn't change. This changes, so it'll be I or J15. Nope. Yeah, that one is the same. So we have that times, oh, this is H I. Yeah, this should be I. All right there. So, and we are good. And then this one here, same. Basically. Same thing, except use J here to do it. So, and same thing right here as well. And the negative value, don't be afraid of it. It's negative value means it's the wind pressure is moving away from surface. So it's still, the absolute value is what really matters. But the negative sign means it's moving away from the surface. So don't be scared by that. Here we'll do the same. Will be K instead. So K right here. And there you go. So you basically kind of do the same right here, for everything else. So, and then we'll go here again. Okay, let me just copy this. Let's see. Now, 15. Yes. And then these ones are all negative. So that doesn't change. And then the I already 20, that changes, and then J18 also doesn't change. So some dollar signs, speed doesn't change. All right, get this. Now if we drag that all the way here, yeah, same thing. Yes, great. So we're done with that. Now we can go ahead and calculate this one. This one we only have two that are positive, so we'll go ahead and calculate these by dragging as well. Sorry, right here. Nope, get the negative one. So copy that and paste it, because remember this value here is negative. So alright, so if we put this here, we have to make sure it goes to this. So it's H should be H22. H22 right here. Great. And everything else is the same. So just drag it till we get to that positive line, so 24. Or yeah, just go there. And then here, instead of using that J, we do I. All right, great. And then this one we do the same. So basically I'm using this formula here. So it's L, right? So the L24. Yeah, L24. So L24. All right, great. So we'll got that. Now let's go ahead and do the same, drag these ones as well. Page 24. Yes. M24. So here M24. Great. Now I'm done, calculating all those values for the, for the each building surface. And these values are here. As you can see them, I'm gonna make them really big. And as I say, the negative signs means the pressure is going away from the surface. So these are your values you are looking for. And these values, they apply to these enumerated or surfaces right here. So, and these values A and 2A, make sure for load A you calculate that, for load B also you calculate it, because load B is mostly kind of we're using kind of not really. So for load A, load A, you only have that 2A on the a lot longer surface with a longer hatched width. But load B also has that small one, but also that big one, right? So that big one is still the same 2A. So as I calculated here, load case A and load case B, don't really take that. I'll probably name it a different name, like a horizontal A, or maybe longer side A and shorter side A. I think that will work better. So let's do that. Longer side A, shorter side A. And the reason why I did that is because if you look at this is the longer side, right? And this A should be bigger than this A, right? So that's how I'm thinking about it. Although you can be like, if you used only one side to least horizontal distance to calculate the A, or if you have only one A, you can just multiply this by 2, multiply this by just 1, or leave it by like 1. So I'm probably thinking the A you will use is the least horizontal dimension, which will probably be this one, this distance here, times use that to estimate A. And then if you want to calculate this, get this distance here, just multiply by 2. So that's the right way to do it actually. So forget about this longer side thing. The correct one would be here, this A, the shorter side. So that would be the correct one that I would advise you to use. So forget about this. Black it out. Yeah. And then once you have the pressures, just in the case you have only one A, just apply that pressure on that 3 feet of the surface, and then if it's 2A, multiply by 2, 6 feet of the the surface, and that's it. And then the other ones, like 1, 2, or whatever, that's the actual whatever pressure is there. You just apply it to after you've deducted, 2A from the whole distance. The rest is just that, distance. So this is how you get the envelope procedure. And now, if you liked my video, please don't forget to like it and subscribe. And so you can get updated videos, because I'm gonna do more videos. I'm gonna do more on like concrete, design of reinforced concretes and all that. If people want, I can do the second parts of these two videos I've done, and to show, but they're basically kind of all the same, really. You just have to follow the procedure, and it should be good. All right, don't forget to put any inquiries in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Thank you very much.